Hello and welcome to Touch the Plain Tarot. Thanks for joining me today. I hope that all of you had a wonderful summer, and I missed making readings for you all. I guess I underestimated how challenging summer was going to be in order to have time to be able to make these videos for you and to also be in the right energy to be able to bring clear messages for you. So now that the school season has started, I am able to refocus, and I thought that seemed like the message that wanted to come through. Whether or not the astrology is in alignment with her energy to create change, this time of year just brings change. For most of us, we live in an area where the school system the new school year starts late summer, and that has a ripple effect that extends to all of us, whether or not we're a student or have a family member who's a student, or be a teacher, or be around teachers. That sort of event in the calendar year kind of creates new change, and it's almost as though it's a new chapter. So what we're going to look at today is, what does this new chapter bring for us? Whether it's a drastic change from our previous chapter or a small change, let's tune in and see what this late summer, early fall season has in store for us. Let's keep an open mind and find out what wants to come through. We have 3 groups today. For group number 1, you have the Unicorn card with the rose quartz. For group number 2, you have the bat, and that is with the Aragonite Cluster. And group number 3, 2 cards wanted to be part of your reading. So you have bee and you have lizard. So I'm really intrigued to see how that plays out, but it was meant to be that you had 2 cards, and I'm just going to go with it. And you have the Amazonite. So as always, I'll leave the camera going for a little while so that you can meditate on your group, tune in with the card or the crystal or the combination. Really tune in. This is a great opportunity to use your intuition and choose the group that you're drawn to today. If you're drawn to more than one group, that is okay too, because you may have messages in more than one group. And this, of course, is a general reading. So if something doesn't feel like it quite applies for you that comes up in the reading, it might not be that reading. The reading is for you today, or it could mean that that small part of it isn't for you. So take what your intuition wants to hold on to. You'll know what messages are truly meant for you in a general reading, and don't try to make anything fit that doesn't fit or feel in alignment with your journey. So let's find out what messages this new chapter has for you today. Hello and welcome, group number 1. You chose the Unicorn with the rose quartz. And I wanted to start your reading off by just telling you a about when I was shuffling the cards to choose cards for the 3 groups today. I began shuffling, and I'm someone who can occasionally, not all the time, but sometimes I see energy, and while I was shuffling, I saw this beautiful, very pale lavender color, almost a pinkish, which is kind of why I was drawn to the rose quartz for your group. But it was more of a very pale purple, and at the precise moment in which I realized that this was indeed the card, and it was a beautiful synchronicity that there are such beautiful light purple colors in the unicorn card. This is, of course, in the animal spirit deck, one of the added creatures that's not a real animal, obviously, but represents one of the 7 chakras. And the unicorn represents the 3rd eye, precisely where the horn is located on a unicorn. This is very much about using the 3rd eye and about intuition. This, let me read you a little tidbit from the guidebook. The guidebook that comes with these cards is really lovely and has a way of phrasing things that really gets you thinking. The unicorn card appears and wakes us up to curiosity about the higher self and the divine. It is a card of questioning, exploring, and contemplating the inexplicable. The mind knows there is something beyond our day-to-day lives and a deeper dimension to our experiences. The mind's eye reaches and reaches and reaches out to grasp something more. You are the unicorn, and you have begun your quest for answers. I think that's really beautiful, and I wanted to start off with that and allow that to sort of sit in. This is going to be a journey. Whatever is ahead of you there's been a space made for you to explore what's next for you. That might be physical space. That might be a space of time that maybe your year has been very busy, very packed, very scheduled, and now you have a little bit of space to breathe. And it's a great opportunity to use that space to really breathe into what possibilities might be ahead for you. And it also can be mental space. Perhaps there is a shift in being able to devote more mental space to that self-searching sort of mindset. So let's just let's find out more information. What does this next chapter have in store for you? What does that unicorn energy wants to tell you? Ooh, under my umbrella. It's very beautiful. I think we're gonna get 2 of these. The umbrella is creating a space without the rain. It's like a protective, it's like you're in a protective bubble that's allowing you contemplative space for yourself. Let's find out what that is. Okay. My home is my castle. Again, we're talking about physical space, which is interesting in a reading about where intuition and the third eye are coming through so strongly. Can we have some more information? What does the unicorns, what is this? Mercury is the planet of communication. Whatever that is. Well, okay. You've got 8 of Wands. Have some more information for group number 1. Whatever is on the bottom of the deck here. Ooh, 4 of Wands. Okay, this is... Let's unpack this. It's interesting, you have something about communication. There's also an element of physical space coming through in your reading. So let's try and unpack exactly what's coming through. This is an interesting message. Oh, I see. Group 1, you may have felt very scattered during summer, that you had, you were balancing many things, travel, summer activities, maybe inconveniences came along with summer where people who you may have needed help from may have been available because of their summer activities. There's just a whole lot that can happen during summer, and I feel like this had you in a bit of a stuck place. But now maybe it's getting back into a normal rhythm that is this. Sometimes the structures, our scheduling structures can actually be helpful when we've mastered them. And can, through, and this is not something that comes easily to me, so I'm not acting like this is an easy thing, but through working with your time and time management, there could be some space made. Like the umbrellas creating this space of no rain, and it's not much, but it is a little bit of shelter for like a breathing room, and it allows you the time and space to get into this unicorn energy where you can be contemplative, where you have the ability to work in meditation into your day, work in the reading that you've been wanting to do, work in getting back to your art practice, breathing space to just slow down and evaluate. And perhaps there is something that you have been wanting to get back to and wanting to focus on. And this little bit of space allows in the guidebook, it talks about this representing the soul. This castle is a part of the soul that's being built up over time. But there was some bit of focus that you didn't feel that you could get to. You still held it dear, but now the sky has cleared and focus can come back to this idea, this part of your soul searching, this part of self-care. Maybe it's like a yoga practice, or maybe it's journaling, and whatever it is that's sort of feeding your soul. You've been working hard, and now that you've got a little bit of breathing space, those things that felt chaotic now feel like they're in flow and they're organized. I think in this situation where we're talking about communication and we're talking about grammar might feel like a bit of a stickler sometimes, but if we have a rigor about how we approach something, for instance, our schedule, if we have that rigor and stick with it, then things start to feel a little more free. We feel a little bit more on top of things, and we feel like, now I have time for self-care. Now I have time for exploring new aspects of my soul that I have an inkling about and I want to get in touch with. In finding stillness, that's when one can tap into intuition. And intuition can come up in unexpected ways, and I think that's why I experienced that vision of a light purple energy when I was shuffling the cards, because I think it was a specific message for your group. I wasn't expecting anything like that. I was just doing my pre-shuffle, right? I was quieting the mind. I was clearing the energy of the cards to prepare for the reading. In that quiet mental space, that bit of intuition could come through. And this may be telling you that now you've got some opportunity to tune in, and in the stillness, things may flow to you. Those inklings of self-knowing, those inklings of inspiration may flow to you in the stillness, and they couldn't get to you before. If you could imagine, these wands being all disarranged, and how that wouldn't feel good, right? But when we see that these wands are all lined up and they're going in the right direction, or whatever direction you had intended them to go in, it feels liberating. It feels freer. It doesn't feel like your attention is being pulled in too many places. There's a sense of calm and a self-knowing. Oh, I aligned these in this way for this reason. You didn't put them the other way. You didn't stack them all up. Maybe they're not all of the same urgency, or they maybe aren't all fully developed so that you can act upon. You know how we're balancing different projects in life, and you got this project coming along over here, something you just started, but you got this other thing over here that you're almost ready to finish. That's the type of energy that I'm feeling. And in this rigor of organization that you've been working on, this is something you've already been doing, and you now can appreciate. And appreciate is that maybe not the right word I'm looking for. Maybe you are more in awareness of where you are in each stage of the projects you're working on. I think it's an awareness. By having that rigor of grammar, there becomes a clarity you kind of, what is the saying? You have all your ducks in a row. Well, you have all your wands in a row here. And you can see them clearly. And that by itself is enough to give you this sort of protection and mental space where you can be content and say, oh, I'm free to work on this thing, whatever it is. And the Knight of Wands is about you taking the wand that you had felt you had neglected. And you can now carry it forward. You can continue to develop it. You can continue to explore. The Four of Wands here, that can be interpreted in a number of ways. It can be your twin flame card, but in this particular reading, I'm seeing the structure here as a gateway. You have created this portal of protection that feels good. It's a place you want to be, whether that's sort of a physical manifestation of what is a mental place for you, but it's this mental space of protection that you feel where you can be creatively free. And that is really this is an energy that feels really good. It feels there's a stillness that feels good, because you know that what you can control what creative thing you bring into that stillness. That's really nice. That is so exciting for your energy in this next chapter. I think we probably want to draw a couple cards and find out. Yeah, I'm seeing that message again. Sorry, I didn't even get to this. This is like you had this thing you wanted to work on here, but you couldn't because of all of these other things. But now you're feeling this mental space and you can move forward. That's a nice energy. Can we get more information? Can we get some more information for group number 1? How do I want to phrase this question? Because whatever that thing here is going to be unique to each of you. But let's find out, what is your advice for creating this space for yourself? That's what we want to know. Okay, both of those. When we have things competing for our time, that's what this is about. Time. Things are going to pop up that are going to feel like they are getting in the way. See the imagery here, the difference between the 8 of Wands and the 5 of Wands. You've got things under control here, and then chaos comes in, right? That's going to happen. And so this is going to help you. This is saying, identify the chaos and attack it. Don't fool around about it. If there's something that happens, I don't know why, and I'm sorry if this is specifically going to happen to some of you, because it came through my mind so clearly. If you end up with a flat tire, that is the kind of thing that's going to throw a wrench in your schedule that you've worked so hard to maintain. I think this is saying, just swiftly come in and say, okay, we got to get this fixed. If we can't just let the car sit out there like that for a couple of days. We're not going to do that. We're going to deal with it immediately. And then it will then free up that protective space again. Yes, it was an inconvenience, but now that we've swiftly moved past that inconvenience, we can get back into that frame of mind. frame of mind that we want to be in. So that's your, let's see if we can get any more bits of advice here, because that's what this seems to be. I'm feeling like something wanted to come out with that. What was it? What's this? I've not really thought about these two cards as a pair before, but this seems, the figure here and the horse, and the figure here and the horse, they're posturally very similar. Let's ignore the fact that the horse is looking at us here. Their posture, the posture, the vibe from the two figures here is similar. They even look similar, almost like it's the same person. I think the advice here is that people are going to continue to grab for your time, your space, your energy. People are still going to be watching you, and they're going to want to interact with you. And this piece of advice is to find your stillness. And try not to get distracted by all of the people who want your time and attention. They see you as successful, and that's great, but you don't necessarily have to choose everything that comes your way and is offered to you or asked of you. This is an important opportunity because we're talking about a period of time here. This chapter that's ahead of you from whenever you watch this reading, this is something to hold sacred for you and protect your bubble, protect your calm and your bubble and your organization. And people will, this communication, people will communicate to you. That doesn't mean that you have to get pulled onto every side quest. This is asking you to remain focused. Oh, look at this, look at this, look at this. Look at this. Remain focused on this thing that you have a rare opportunity to focus on and develop, because that is part of your soul development. And even if people are trying to take your energy and distract you, I mean, obviously do the things that you need to do, obviously. But you don't necessarily need to say yes to every extra thing that somebody asks along the way. You can politely say, no, I mean, that's nice of you to offer, but perhaps another time. And that's okay. And there's nothing wrong with that, because you have this window of time here that you're focusing on this thing that's very important to nurture, and it's okay to protect your time and space. Group number 1, that is your reading today for this new chapter, this new window of time, space, and mental clarity that's coming up for you. So I hope you found this valuable today. If you resonated with the reading, please give me a like and a subscribe. I'd love to have you back for another reading. Bye. Hi, and welcome group number 2. You chose the bat spirit animal to represent the new chapter of your book, and the Aragonite crystal. This is an interesting combination of energies. I intuitively choose the crystals after I've drawn the cards. And I do that by feeling the energy vibration from the crystals, and they tell me which crystal needs to be with the card. This is very much a sort of an earth energy type of crystal, which is interesting to get it with the bat and a creature that flies. So I think that's just a really interesting observation to start off with. In the guidebook with regard to the bat, it represents darkness and it represents letting go. The bat is the master of the subtle senses, of the underlying forces that cause some things to prosper and others to fade. The bat card shows up to signify the ending of a chapter. This is exactly what this reading is about the next chapter. This bat card is telling you that one chapter is indeed ending. It says the bat card shows up to signify the ending of a chapter, the closing of a door. The bat comes swiftly, encouraging us to move on. In just a few hours, a new day dawns, no more lingering in the past. The key term here to bring the bat spirit into balance is to watch the sunrise. So what did it say? The underlying forces that cause some things to prosper and others to fade. That is extremely interesting. It says the underlying forces. I did double check the meaning of the Aragonite, and one thing that this can be used for is to place on maps to heal energy centers of the earth. It can also be healing and opening of ley lines, which I found very interesting. That's something that this crystal is used for, and it talks about the underlying forces. So yeah, let's find out more. What else do we need to know about this next chapter for group number 2? Touch the sky. I always saw those as birds, but you never know. Maybe they're bats out in the daytime as the sun's setting or rising. What else does group number 2 need to know? Can we have more clarity? What is this one? We have yet another bird. The gift. More information for group number 2. What do they need to know about this next chapter? Arithmetic. Apollo. What kind of a color palette forming here? You have the beautiful blues with brown details, and then you have this intense red on her lips and cheeks. Pale blue, but a very intense pinkish red. Pinkish orangish red. Okay. We have some more information for group number 2. I'm really drawn to, we have a very, very vibrant color, and then we have this sort of muted blue. Perhaps that's important. Somehow it's not that one, it's the one behind it. 6 of Wands. We have more information for group number 2, their next chapter. We do want that one. The Hierophant. There's a lot of sort of counterbalances. Night and day, sort of sky versus earth, sky versus earth. We have their colors. We have a lot of sort of counterbalancing sort of energies, and I'm feeling that when I'm shuffling. Sometimes the way the cards behave can tell us a little bit about our reading, and I'm feeling like an energy shifting, like I'm having difficulty zoning in on which card wants to come out. Well, those again, those are very opposite energies. Okay, wow. I think I said this in group number 1. Let's unpack this, and we have a gift here. Opposite energies. Here we have 32 and we have 23. Let's actually look at 23 first. The gift. Whimsy, excitement, curiosity. What is inside the box? We don't know for sure, but it seems to be a gift, simple on the outside, but perhaps magical within. Would it be the fulfillment of an old wish? Is a question. Remember the curiosity we have before opening presents, the magical space between dreams and truth. Again, opposites here. A gift reminds us of the excitement we have in these special moments. And we have the transition between night and dark, and we have the bat representing the closing of a door. There's something here about the space in between. The space in between. And that's kind of what's depicted here. This sort of transition space. The braid is not, it has an origin point here. We don't see the destination. There's a space in the middle. We have some very conflicting energies in terms of being very opposite and opposing, but we have two figures here. Apollo is about experiencing emotions without being controlled by them. So there's a sense of the temperance card, and the Hierophant, I would take it's showing up here today as an energy of not overreacting, remaining calm in no matter what's going on. That's how I would take that. But let's unpack this further. Touch the sky. Lost in thoughts, isolation, and sanctuary. Sanctuary, the space in between. It says she is holding one of her braids like a lifeline, as if she is expecting someone to climb up to her. Sometimes we're so overwhelmed by our feelings and sensations we escape into a condition of withdrawal and separation. It is hard for other people to follow us there unless we give them a sign they are welcome. There's a pause here for you. Group 2, there's a pause. It's like you've been here, you've had worry, you've had heartache, you've had to manage so much. This is a very sort of depressing energy. That's a where you've been. That's giving me a where you've been vibe. But you're now in this new chapter is a pause. It's a space in between. But you don't know what is on the other side. This is a space in between two worlds. The world, the room, the existence that she is in now. We don't know what is on the other side of this space. We don't know what is in the box. We don't know what he stands for, but he's totally fine being there waiting, right? We're in a state of that not knowing, and sometimes, the waiting is like Tom Petty coming through here. The waiting is the hardest part, right? The waiting process is enough to trigger this type of energy. You want to be here. It's like you have an inkling. This is abundance. Pentacles representing wealth and abundance. There's actual grapes growing wonderfully and bountifully around her. A bird. These are things that show health, vitality. This is an energy that you want to be in, and you feel like it's there, but it's not fully there. It's like the color red here. It's like this vibrancy, and you kind of have a reddish purple grape here. We'll just stick with that color theme there. As if this is like because the rest of this card, it's very black and white. It doesn't really have much saturation of color in it anywhere, except for it's like this jolt of color that's growing. It's almost as though it's in process of it's in the process of being painted. It's in the swan will eventually be this pink red color. The dress will fully become this color, but it's not there yet. It's like this space of in between, and like you kind of feel this type of energy coming. think we need to get some clarifier cards, but I wanted to just double check. Arithmetic here might be a clue or more of an advice for you. Where is arithmetic? Oh, that's right. Okay, so this actually says combine strengths and use them to your favor. Combine strengths and use them to your favor. Okay, we're gonna have to get some more info on well, I picked these up because I wanted to get some clarifier cards. Hanged Man was on the bottom. Hanged Man, if you want to kind of compare the animal spirit deck to the traditional pack, the Hanged Man is one who's looking at things from a new perspective. This is one of my favorite cards. In my mind, in the narrative in my head, the Hanged Man has put himself here to see things from a different point of view. And that's what this enlightening energy is, a realization, a light bulb moment that was only possible from looking at things from a different perspective. I'm gonna let's put him with the bat. Okay. I wanted to pull some clarifier cards for a couple of let's find out why is arithmetic here? Wow. This is also this is a very intentional, very calculating, very focused creation here. Interesting. I'm feeling a bit baffled by your reading, group 2, but in a good way, as though I'm really excited to find out how does this all fit together with these conflicting energies. We're still working on everything. So we're organizing. This all feels very in the nature of arithmetic. Okay. Okay, this is coming out to clarify arithmetic. I think what this is saying is, in this space of pause, the Hanged Man is in a state of pause. It's an intentional state of pause, but it is a state of pause nonetheless. It's an opportunity for this arithmetic to happen. It's an opportunity for you to reorganize, refocus, and create. Because what you can create is this, and we have here, these are the two most abundant cards. So whatever you're focusing on and creating has the potential to create a lot of wealth, security, and abundance in your life in whatever ways you want that abundance to be in. That can look a little different for everybody. And it's also potentially giving you an opportunity to reimagine what abundance is for you and what you're really working to, as well as having the opportunity to actually work toward it. I think this was here. Okay, that's a very clear message. What this pause is this opportunity for, let's put the, we want to see all these, okay. Scooch over. I'd like to clarify why the Hierophant. Not sure, I always say Hierophant. I don't know why I said Hierophant. That's very weird. Tower. There's a structure here governing your life that has to fall apart. That's the darkness before the sun rises. And there is a space in between. There is a structure in your life that isn't working in your favor. The Hierophant is authoritative, and it has to do with religious structures, marriage structures, that has to do with the orthodoxy of the way we used to do things that isn't fitting into... It's not fitting into our modern world or a future that is built the way we want to build it. And that is why that tower has to fall down. And this in-between space, it is your opportunity to take this and make it this. And that might not be easy, and that may be challenging, because looking at things from a new perspective will give you ideas how to create this abundance, and also what that abundance is. Because remember the box. We don't have any idea what's in the box. And the reason is you can imagine what you want to be in the box. And you have an ability, you have the space, that maybe hopefully the time, resources, and space, hopefully all of that in, I take this to be pretty encompassing, to find a new way to start building a new tower. The tower that you want to build. Right, actually here, look. Both of these cards that are very much about abundance have structures in the background. That's representing you building a framework for your life that is supportive. And we're done. This Hierophant, whatever that structure is in your life, it doesn't fit anymore. And you're seeing that clearly. And now you're in this awkward space in between where you, and that may be feel a little bit weird or new. You have the ability to create these new methods for yourself, the way you want to create them, and for what purpose. That group number 2, no wonder this reading was so hard to get here, because that's a lot to unpack. That's a lot to unpack. Perhaps there's some ideas here for me for future readings that you could tune into. Maybe we can create some readings that might get more specific into the what and the how. This was a lot to integrate, so group number 2, I hope that you got something out of this. I recommend sitting with this meditating on it, give this some time to digest, because you probably already felt all of this going on, and I hope that this reading may have helped you gain some perspective on what you were already feeling. Thank you for being with me for this reading today. If you resonated with the reading, please give me a like and subscribe, and I'd love to have you back for future readings. Bye. Hi and welcome, group number 3. I am really intrigued by two very different cards coming out for you, for your signifier cards, and we have that paired with Amazonite. So let's try and this is starting to make sense to me already, and I think we need to unpack what's going on here a little bit before we get into additional cards. So the lizard, the lizard is an expert in the realm of sensory perception, as if it has a sixth sense. The lizard hears what is yet to be spoken and sees what is yet to manifest. Although this is an amazing gift, it can easily wear the lizard down. Big crowds, lots of travel, or overstimulation will drain a lizard of their magical essence. This is really key. The lizard's getting drained. The card is an indication to pull back from the bright lights, the big city, and return to the inner artist who's been whispering your name. So, bee spirit. The bee loves to work steadily and thoughtfully until the final task is complete. They are sensitive creatures, aware of many subtleties at once. Since they're artists at heart, they usually add creative details to the overall vision. For the most part, they have bustling, joyous personalities until they're too tired from all the work. Then they gripe and they sting. It says they are out of balance when overworked or annoyed, and bringing them, it says, to bring into balance, mini vacation. Okay, so that, oops, just dropped some notes in the floor. So Amazonite, and I'm thinking group number 3, you may want to work with Amazonite, because if you're resonating with the energies of bee and lizard spirit and that sensation of being overworked, and the inner artist is calling you, but you are too tired and too overstimulated to let that shine through, this would be a really powerful to have in your spiritual toolbox. It is a stone that has a lot of filtering action. It can filter things like cell phone radiation and microwaves and electromagnetic pollution. And it is very, very good for illnesses that might be caused by, or I want to say maybe more aggravated by, oversensitivities to environmental influences. Now, environmental influences, that could mean a lot of things. It could be the people around you in your workplace. That could be clutter in your home. That could be, you know, if you're living somewhere and working somewhere that's in a very busy populated area, big city, you're going to just deal with what's you have to process what's going on around you. Sitting in traffic can be just so stressful depending on where you live. Those are environmental influences that should not be taken lightly. And I'm feeling like before we even get into clarifying your reading, I'm getting this sense, group number 3, that you this is time for some self-care. What did the bee say? A mini vacation. you know, building into your day times for you to restore yourself, to get back into balance, to get away from those things that are overstimulating you and draining you. Okay, so that said, let's get some cards. Can we have some more information for, why are these slipping out of my hand? Okay. Can we have some more information for group number 3 for this new chapter for them? Can we have some more information? I felt something back here and then I didn't pick it up. Why didn't I get it? Who was this one? No, it was the one behind it. Perhaps you need both of those. Okay. Ooh, this is very calming energy from these cards. Because I think bee/lizard spirit, you are overstimulated. Lullaby and home in the sky. This feels very dream-like. Also very in keeping with the colors here. Okay. Can we have some more information for group number 3? Vital functions. That makes me think of self-care. This next chapter. Geometry. Also thinking that's got a dreamlike vibe simply because the figure here is floating in the clouds. Okay, can we have some more information? I feel your buzzy bee energy, but I also feel the need to slow down and take a chill. Because I think group 3, that's what you need. This is, you can't make this stuff happen. This has come out for every group. 8 of Wands. Ooh, okay. So what are we gonna cover up? So we don't get the YouTube police. I think that wants to come out too. Oh, again. This group 3 needs to know. Let's shuffle again. The lullaby card says, we give so much during the day. Night is our time to recover. Okay. This is interesting. In this card, there are the elements of a journey, symbolized by the sky, the birds, and balloons. But there are also houses which suggest home, security, and stability. These birds have the best of both worlds. They can travel a big distance without losing their home. They are free to seek new experiences without worry. Home truly is where the heart is. And you have the Chariot card. It's reminding me of a bee. You know, a bee has a hive. It flies around. It's finding flowers throughout its territory, goes to the flower. And in my thought process here, it's exploring a flower or an area of flowers that it is within its. I'm sure they probably have a radius. I don't know what that is. I'm not a bee expert, but I'm sure they have a radius of how far they will go without heading, that they know they've gone too far and that they have to head back to home base. But you know, a bee is so small that if this house has some flowers that they visit one day, the following day they might go a little bit further to the next house that has a different set of flowers, and that feels like a whole different journey. Although it's not actually that far from their home. So it's a similar concept to what we're seeing in this card with Home in the Sky, where the birds here are actually bringing their home on a little balloon with them. It's about a sense of adventure with a sense of travel, but without leaving the safety of the home. The geometry card makes me think of, and it's a little hard to see with the way the light reflects. Okay, right here. Tilt this so we can see it. There are shapes. And it's like a list of options, and they're being analyzed to me. Okay. It's like the bee could choose to go to this flower or this flower or this flower. They're different choices, and each choice would be exploring something new. This makes me think, and we have this message about mini vacation, that you may have an opportunity coming up. Oh, I'm thinking of that here too. There is within this framework of existence, there is this sphere that is a whole other world that's been unexplored. This makes me think that you have the opportunity to explore things that are near you that you haven't yet explored. And this could be maybe a new coffee shop, maybe a store you've kind of wanted to go to but you never have. Maybe it's a park. Maybe there's a little museum somewhere near you that you've just never got around to going to. This is making me think that going to these things that are within your sphere of safety, that's relatively, we're not talking about getting on a plane or a 4-hour car trip. I'm talking about, is there something within a 30-minute drive that you could try out that you've never done before? And it could be like a little vacation, it could be like a little reset, a little recharge. Something that makes you feel good, something that aligns with you, that say that might be fun to do, but then that's why the devil energy came out. The devil energy can act to sabotage you from your goals and your inspiration, the things that inspire you. It can just suck all of that good stuff out of your life. And this can come in intrusive thoughts. No, I don't deserve to spend money to go to that museum today. I don't deserve to treat myself to a latte when I can just make a coffee here. I don't deserve to what's a good example? I don't deserve to go to that shoe store because I might be tempted to buy something and I don't deserve that. These little things, or it could be more, not so much monetarily, it could be more like time. Oh, I don't have time to do that. When you kind of had some time, so you thought about what you might do to fill that time, to do something fun for you, but then that sabotaging energy comes in and says, no, I have all these things on my to-do list. I should do those things instead of going and seeing what that park is like. That's the kind of sabotaging energy that's coming in. It's like, I'm feeling like with the 5 of Cups here, you're feeling like this is to-do list. And this is something fun that would be restorative. That, oh, there's a guilt that I need to work on this to-do list. And I don't deserve to take some time out and go explore that art gallery that I keep driving by. This is a message to say, yes, you should. You should try the new thing. And it's not asking, this message is not asking you to go on a big trip. This message is saying there's something in your radius, within the sphere of your normal things, normal places that you go in the course of a week. There are things that you haven't explored that could be soothing to your soul in some way. Maybe it's not even physically going to a place. Maybe it's trying a new thing. Maybe this is a call to explore sound healing, and you can do that by kind of getting into that by getting on YouTube and finding some sound healing meditations and getting a feel for what that's like. And it would be a new experience that you could incorporate into your lifestyle, but at this point it's just an idea to you and you haven't tried it yet. Well, maybe you could set aside some time, find a sound healing meditation and put it on and kind of get a vibe, put some headphones in, get a vibe, see if that's something that is restorative to your soul. I have a feeling that it will be. It's a beautiful modality. It's just an example here of some way that, you don't, it's an investment in you. And I think one of the best ways we can explore and get in better touch with who we are is to have new experiences. And if those experiences are inner reflective, that's really good. If those experiences push us out of our comfort zone and make us meet somebody new, maybe that's good for us in a different sort of way. But this message is saying there could be things. Open up your maps on your phone and look around and see what stuff you're missing. If you like, if you're a wine enthusiast, look for just type wine in the maps, and you may find something on there that you didn't know was there. If you are into art galleries, put that into your phone, and something might pop up, and there's a gallery near you. You had no idea it was there. You go there, and maybe you discover an artist that you didn't know about, or a type of art that just really sparks something in your those creative juices start flowing for you to make something. There could be something near you that you've got to get to that will expand your world. There's a little bubble of something somewhere in your radius that you need to explore, and it will become a new part of your world. And maybe not every new thing you try will be, but there you have an opportunity here with this new change of season, this new chapter that's opening up, to find something that is part of your world. And there may be several choices, and maybe you want to try a few different things. Maybe you'll discover something new that you didn't realize that you were into. Maybe you'll meet somebody who you just vibe with, and you end up being friends with them. Just that's the beauty of the pause. You know, it's almost a gift, this overstimulation that you have been experiencing and that's been draining to you and is making you in this sort of Five of Cups-ness, is actually something that's it's asking you to take a time out and explore something new. There's some bubble out there for you to discover. There's some new thing, and it's near you. Maybe it's just you know, maybe a new lunch spot that you might want you stop and treat yourself to once a week because you love the food and the vibes there. Whatever, there's something that's going to enrich your world, and it's so close to you that it's going to become part of your definition of home. Oh, that's really fun. You don't have to go far, but you do have to go. I think it's go somewhere. I think that it's a physical somewhere with the Chariot here, but I guess for some of you, it could be a new thing that you want to try that might be more private or at home. Maybe you're wanting to, like, maybe you're really into, like, stylish decorative cupcake making, and you never get around to actually doing it, but you just look at all the stuff online. I don't know where's this cupcakes? Where's this coming from? Somebody's thinking about cupcakes, and I'm picking up on it. Maybe that's something that you actually are going to get super into as a hobby, and maybe a career someday. And you're like, you have to make a mental journey to say, I'm making the choice for me that I'm going to try to make this type of cupcake this weekend. And that can be interpreted as a journey because it's not along your normal path of your week. You're making a little a side quest. You're making a side quest to make time and space to do that thing. For I think many of you, it's a physical location that you should experience. Maybe it's a park, and maybe you find that you like to meditate in this park. It's going to be really unique to you, but there's a bubble, a little bubble of something that's going to become part of your world. And you'll be like, oh, wow, I'm gonna do this thing, and I don't have to feel guilty about it. I deserve 2 hours on a Saturday afternoon to do this thing, or whenever it is. Maybe it's a half an hour at your lunchtime, whatever that bubble of space time ends up being. You deserve it, and it's going to enrich your world. And let's find out if there's any more advice. Whatever this is going to be soothing to your soul. It's going to be like a lullaby. It's going to open up creativity. Both the bee and the lizard talk about creativity. Let me get still. The bee energy coming in, isn't it? I'm in the bee energy. Get still and listen to the cards. Okay. The Knight of Wands, yeah. Just the Knight of Wands moves swiftly. Just do it. Don't put it off anymore. It also makes me think physical location. I would... Oh, this is saying you're gonna grieve that you didn't do it sooner. You're gonna grieve that you didn't do it sooner, so do it. I mean, obviously, you know, make good choices. This is a healthy thing. This isn't a negative thing. This isn't picking up a new bad habit. This is a healthy, positive experience that's going to be good for you, hopefully good for whoever you come into contact with. But this is coming in to say you're going to be irritated with yourself that you didn't do this sooner. And don't stay in that. Don't stay in that. Move out of that energy and continue and enjoy that you found this thing, place, activity, whatever it is. Yeah, don't be too hard on yourself to say, oh, this is, I found my life's passion. Why didn't I go to this place sooner? Don't be hard on yourself, because you are there in divine timing. You're there exactly when you were meant to be there. Don't overthink that part of it. Just enjoy it now that this new discovery, this new location, this new activity, whatever this is for you, it's in your life now, and it's enriching your world, and it came to you precisely, or you came to the thing, or it came to you precisely when it was meant to. So don't overthink. Yeah, step into this, I want to say space-time, because in order to go try a new thing or go to a new place for a new activity, there's time and location involved in that. So, okay, group number 3. I hope you find some joy in whatever new activity, whatever this ends up being for you. And I hope that it can help to restore you, and it can enrich your world, your sphere of what you call home. It can become a new part of that. That was a really fun reading. Thanks for being here. And if you liked this reading, if it resonated with you, please give me a like and a subscribe, and share with others if there's anyone in your world who you think might enjoy the readings today. And I hope to see you back for another reading. Bye.